What a day it has been. Ladies and gentlemen, these teams, especially LGD China, have just had such a long and grueling set of games. We're here for the GEST Dota 2 Challenge. We are in the grand finals. It's an all LGD affair, the international boys versus the Chinese squad. And so far, it's been a back and forth topsy-turvy series, but it's now come to the deciding game 5. Whoever wins this game, it's down to this one game, gets $1,500 to split between the 5 of them. The rest get zilch. So a lot at stake here for a 2-day tournament. If you run the math compared to other events, $1,500 for 2 days is a ton of money. It is a lot. They have worked hard to get here, though, especially the Chinese team. They have played so long, and you got to figure, well, if they win this, they're really going to feel like it's well-deserved. I'm LD. I'm joined here today by Luminous, of course. We're presenting this on behalf of Beyond the Summit, the tournament made possible by Dota Talk and GST. Again, one more huge shout out and thank you to Gigabyte for making this event possible. But with all that being said, Lumi, I gotta say, they give Yao his mag.
They give Magnus, Faceless Void, and Night Stalker away. Again, Faceless Void, Chronosphere, not exactly a couple as well with most melee heroes, but hey, we've seen the way that Sylar uses his Faceless Void. He just goes for support. Chrono, jump in, get 2, and just go for the kill, and suddenly you're down 2 heroes. Magnus and Night Stalker is going to chase your team around. With that said, Bat Rider, we saw despite the game that LGD International dropped with Bat Rider, it was just doing so much damage in team fights. Firefly against 4 melee hero in that particular game. It seems to be at least 3 melee hero in this game. He will do a lot. But again, it comes down to the laning stage, because when you have 3 melee heroes, you don't expect to have the best laning stage ever.
And that's a great point. And, you know, let's think about what those lanes will be. For LGD, it feels pretty, for the Chinese, rather, it feels pretty predictable. We're going to see Mag in the off lane. We're going to see Night Stalker solo mid. Maybe he'll get a little roaming support help. And we're going to see Void farming the safe lane. It's predictable. So what would be the best way to kind of counter that? We saw the Bat Rider versus Mag 1v1. Brax almost got a first blood, slightly overextended, but I honestly feel like that shouldn't really happen. Mag shouldn't die to Bat 1v1. He can win the lane, certainly, but Bat shouldn't actually get that kill. So, I mean, what do you think about these lanes? What would be the ideal scenario for the international boys?
I feel like if you match up Luna tri-lane versus Faceless Void tri-lane, although we don't see any tri-lane hero in particular, but you know, just as if, I don't think Luna wins that run, right? I mean, Faceless Void, sure, he's melee and he has a tough time farming, but Luna's not exactly the best tri-lane. She needs a lot of levels. Her Lucent Beam isn't exactly the best tri-lane nuke. Lunar Blessing is very nice in terms of giving your supports harass, but your supports have more valuable things to do, like pulling, you know, stacking, whatever else. So I feel like both teams has a fairly awkward lane involving their carry. Their off lanes and mid are pretty much stacked, and we are going to see a Misery Chen. This is the first time that I've seen it. And have you seen it in the past? How does he like to play his Chen?
This is he basically what they look to do with the Chen is he gets an early level 5, 6, and then they push with the glaive. Well, not with the glaives, with the maxed aura from Luna, and obviously hoping to have that early blink dagger on Bat. This is going to be that mid game death ball that they wanted to have last game. The one thing we should say about this game that we've seen in the past is when Luna's been shut down, it's with aggressive, powerful lanes. They don't really have a hero that's going to destroy Luna in this situation. They maybe could run an offensive tri-lane with the Night Stalker, I want to say. It's very unconventional, but I feel like if you don't run aggressive lanes, that's where the international squad gets a little bit dangerous, because then they're going to have the early level 6 on Luna, they're going to have the Chen with the quick hand of God Mech, and that can turn team fights around no matter how much control you have. You're not going to have that much damage early on, so even with RP and Chrono, I think you talked about the lanes being important, and I feel like with this triple melee opening and then following up with the Venomancer and giving away the Chen, this could actually work out really well for the international squad in the laning stage.
Yep. Obviously, the Luna is going to get the support most likely from Rubik and base farm up for EXP. Chen just does his own thing and farm up. If you want a better ganker, you most likely want to get Enchantress. Obviously, Enchantress is banned here, so not exactly what LG wants to do. And team fight is what they're picking up here. TIE Hunter. We might even see a TIE mid, of course. Bat Rider mid is always a good thing, and we could see TIE off lane. So the versatility of laning is always there here for the international squad. LGD doesn't have too much lockdown. They do have the reverse, they do have the chrono, but that's pretty much it.
I
What is their goal? What is their counter pushing hero? Keep
I
the light is banned out.
I absolutely love the idea of the Tide solo mid. Not only is the early Ravage amazing against Night Stalker, who wants to be tower diving, you Veno and Mag, who want to be setting up those mid-game initiations, even using things like RP or Chrono just to set up a single kill. This Tidehunter pick, Anchor Smash against 3 melee heroes, is going to ruin them if they get caught out.
Yeah.
Not only that, but who's going to stop them in the lane? I feel like they have to dual lane mid. Tide beats any melee hero pretty much, except for maybe a Darkseer 1v1. I suppose an anti-mage perhaps if he's pulled regen, but he's going to beat any of these heroes 1v1 mid, at least hold his own. I wonder if LGD China is going to get creative with their lanes, because I feel like if they just play this the expected way, they're going to lose their lanes, and they're going to lose them pretty hard, and also they're not going to find the kills they want around that like 8 to 10 minute mark.
I absolutely agree. I mean, Bad Rider could easily ward off a single support by himself, especially when these supports are such low range support in the Venomancer and Vengeful Spirit, and they don't have good spells to actually harass or spam. If you take a couple of napalms, they will just fly all over you, and you lose kills. So I think if Bad is going off lane and Tide's going mid, that is going to work out well. But look at the player distribution. It is G on the Bat and Brax on the Tidehunter, so they're going to be going for more of the traditional way of laning these heroes, and I think that's going to work out fine for Nirvana China.
There you go. You slipped up. It is the Nirvana China. Oh no, of course it's LGD China. Oh, Lumi, I've been hoping to pounce on you for that one, but I mean it's a bit of a throwback, of course, to that Nirvana International squad. So, well, here we are. It's the resurgence, I suppose, of an organization having a Chinese division and an international division. I gotta say, however this game turns out, the teams have delivered as far as the overall game quality for the event, and also, I'm still impressed by the international squad, even if they end up losing this series, just because they've shown their teamwork, their overall movement. It's just a lot more polished than what we're seeing out of pretty much any Western team.
Sure, I can agree with that. They know what to do in multiple stages of the game. I still feel like they're a little bit weaker in late stage of the game, but that could be because of the heroes that they pick. And let's see how well they do in this particular game. Also, though, I still have not figured out exactly what that Midas was about in last game, but that's another discussion for another day. Highcat playing the Luna here, going on the top. Brax going to be handling the Tidehunter with the Stout Shield being picked up. Misery, of course, playing his Chen. No smoke on him. 1437 does have the smoke. Playing the Rubik, and finally we're going to see G on the mid lane here, going for the quick bottle once again. Again, we haven't seen G on the bat, or at least I haven't. He is a aggressive tower diving hero, and this player, if you've never seen him play, he is so damn aggressive.
And he's up against Night Stalker. He's going to destroy this lane. Night Stalker can sit back to a certain extent and just spam Void on creeps. We're going to have to see a lot of bottle crowing, I think, from Xiao8, and maybe some help. He is expecting the bat mid. He's got the magic stick. So he's prepared, but how prepared can you really be for the onslaught of flames and hellfire that Bat Rider plans to unleash on you? Of course, on the other side of the map, we have Yao playing his mag. Has he lost a game with it yet? I can't remember one off the top of my head.
It would be a bad one to lose. The first one to lose is the finals.
It would be I mean, if the international squad can win this game, although I feel like their draft is pretty decent, they're still having to deal with the Yao mag and a Sylar Void for that matter. It's pretty fearsome stuff. Xiao8 on that solo Midnight Stalker. We have Sylar playing his Void, has the poor man shield already going for that really aggressive laning build. Just so hard to actually do any damage to Void. DDC on the support Venge. Venge is making a bit of a comeback in the Asian scene. Something interesting trend. And last but not least, DD on the Venomancer.
We've seen Venge doing a lot like canceling black holes, but really as a forgotten initiation factor, one thing that Venge can do in this particular game is if one of your heroes is dragged by the Flaming Lasso, she can actually just break that Flaming Lasso with a good swap. If it's long enough range, it will just flat out break it. So suddenly your Bat Rider just used his best ultimate initiation spell.
And it's, yeah, exactly. And
nothing, you know?
It's something Disruptor can do as well with Glimpse, but the difference is that Venge... she gives you a reliable just ganking tool in that magic missile, and she also gives you more late game initiation from the swap, which is a little bit more reliable than something like Glimpse. And more importantly, the auras and the minus armor, which makes your carry that much stronger. And that's something worth talking about, is if this game goes late, it's Empower and it's all the Vengeful Spirits additional physical damage. They spot a potential first blood opportunity. They've identified the offensive jungle pattern from the international squad, and they scatter immediately. This is going to be a long journey. It is 3 heroes chasing this down. Chen is the target. Misery is hoofing it away, but I think he's going to be caught eventually. Maybe not, though. There isn't a void, actually. Xiao8 used all his mana. He wands up, wishing he had enough. He needs a body block. He can't quite get in range. Will that Gale hit? If it does, Misery is definitely dead. He would be so screwed if it did. Yao just not rotating in for this one. 1437 lurking on the low ground.
Trap. He's gonna get the high ground. Yes, he's found it. Oh no, a lot of time being wasted. No, he just hand goes out. Oh man.
That was so clever, though. What a play.
But regardless, a lot of time being wasted on 2 supports for a Chen, and God is getting free farm in the mid lane. Still a huge win here for Radiant.
Yeah, if that Night Stalker had like 10 more mana, he gets the Void off, then the Gale hits, and that's the first blood. But because he had used all his nukes just to try and farm up the quick bottle, he doesn't have it. Speaking of the quick bottle, we're not going to see one. He goes for the boots, which actually, that makes a lot of sense. You're up against Bat. Having those early boots means you'll be a lot more able to survive when he dives you. Here comes the gank. This could be the real first blood. There's your magic missile. The Dyer's Courier dies while this is happening. It was sniped by the support Rubik, I believe. First blood goes that way, but 1437 gets more gold for his team with the hero Courier snipe. Also, the Night Stalker, no boots for him for a full 2.5 minutes. So they get first blood, but 1437 to some extent equalizes it.
I think that's actually a big win. The XP advantage that Night Stalker's getting is not too big because the XP was split between 3 heroes. So pretty good, but on the top lane here, a little bit of action here. Syla just fighting away here. They just need one Gale. There's a jump 40 slow. Gale is going to hit just on the tip. Magic Missile. Nice body blocking as well. Look at the right click coming up from Brax. Brax going to get the right click kill. But now it's going the other way. Brax will not have mana for another Anchor Smash. He does. He's getting it. No, he misses. But meanwhile, look at the Spurlock just doing so much damage. Body blocking coming from Misery. No more. Oh man. Those are just so close back and forth. Can Syla get the kill here against a Great Creep?
Oh, that would be huge, but no, doesn't look like it in the end. Wow. This is... every game is just instant aggression. It feels like just... I feel like I mean, after 6.74B, after what was it, 5, 6, maybe even 8 months of it? I can't even remember. And all the new heroes now coming into Dota 2. Boy, has just the overall way that teams play in every region shifted. And I love this style coming out of China. It's just constant aggression, but it's very, calculated. They're always, when they're really identifying the weak points in each team's lineup and trying to set up those kills. The offensive jungle, sure, it got, to some extent shut down, but it took a big investment to do it. And on paper, the offensive jungle makes a lot of sense. Night Stalker, weak in that mid lane, can be ganked before the first night. Really, you want to gank him before that first night. I love the way both of these teams are playing.
Yep. Meanwhile, one thing I want to point out here is Sidelar is missing last hits. He's missing a molested last hit, I have to say. He doesn't have the Quelling Blade, but you expect a carry player of his caliber to really get every single thing. Look at the CS here against really a TIE Hunter Harass. He's only got 16.
There is Anchor Smash, so that 78 damage turns into 47. Does make life a bit trickier.
Yeah, he's just having somewhat a tough time out of region at this point. Really want to get to his Ring of Health. Again, Chen as well as Rubik is just, you don't really know where he is. Look at the high ground warding deep on the Dire Plateau. What are you going to do? They see you every time you want to counter gank. And of course, they do have the availability of ganks in their own jungle. Meanwhile, Xiao8 just can't have anything going in the mid lane. As G, look at him. He's farming as if he's playing on the Dire side in the mid.
On the one lane we haven't really looked at much at all is Yao on that bottom lane. I took a brief glance there. He is level 5, but he's getting completely outfarmed in this lane. That's okay. Mag doesn't need to win the farm war. Although Pycat having a better start than Luna and the Night Stalker being very worried about the offensive jungle, I gotta say, LGD winning that bottom lane handily, winning the mid lane handily, despite that first blood on G, especially with the Courier Snipe, we're gonna say G's definitely having the edge here, and he's gonna have a very early blink. I gotta say, this is starting to shape up as the international team having all the momentum as we move towards, that point in the game where the aggression really picks up. They go on to DD. The Gale is gonna hit on Misery, but the Chen creep is here, stuns him up, and now the nukes fly forth. That Anchor Smash is doing so much work. Down goes the Chen. No, denied. Denied by Brax. Man, he is playing great today. He had a tough day yesterday, but he is really stepping up to the plate. He wants to dive this tower. He'll back off. The Chen dies, but it is a deny. I gotta say that This is generally what we see when teams are beating LGD China right now, is they're just shutting Sylar down. And you mentioned missing last hits. A lot of it comes down to the amount of bullying and punishment he's taking in this top lane.
Every single lane being lost here on the LGD China side. They gotta get something going. It is nighttime. He does have the teleport scroll ready, so if you're diving on the top lane, you gotta be extremely careful. As to say that the Luna is teleporting right in. Does she have the... Let's see if she's gonna put her 8th and 9th point into that Lunar Blessing. If so, we're going to see something that we see quite often, which is that big death ball push. Just coming so early. Here we go, Sylar. Level 6, though. He's going to get mini stun down. No chance in hell of making out of that one. And, well, he's going to be back in 20 seconds. I do believe that they're going to take a fight with the Chrono.
Well, we'll see if they want to. I think there's a Ravage up now. Yeah, there is. Brax has Ravage. Chen's only level 4, no Hand of God, but just fighting into Ravage, and Firefly probably up by then or up soon. And by the way, Eclipse, who could forget that? This early is a huge thing to worry about. On the other side, there is RP, and, well, it's a battle of really disgusting teamfight ults. Who will prevail? We may find out soon. Salve up on G. I have seen this movie before. This is what we've seen from LGD. I think most notably when they played Orange in this event. It feels exactly like one of those games. Just once Luna hits level 7, they 5-man, and they do it with everyone. Chen gets a couple creeps. They have, you know, their solo mid or their big team fight initiator, in this case, the Bat Rider and the Tidehunter, who have levels to make an impact, and they just go. It's go time. LGD are trying to stall this. Can they do it?
They gotta find the opening right now. Smart warding in the jungle, seeing the Firefly flying from the south. That's a lot of... It's a very good gank path for G if he wants to take that one, but it's scouted. One thing I do want to point out is that Void has walked all those way back to the mid lane. A lot of carry play will just TP right there, but he's reserving his TP scroll for the top in case a fight breaks out. So just smart play here being done by the LGD China squad. Meanwhile, here comes Initiation. The Ravage being, again, threatened to be used. Here comes Sylar. He wants a Chrono. They do get one kill immediately on 1437. Bat Rider trying to get the kill, but Bat Rider now, Firefly's running out very, very soon. He's trapped himself in a dangerous position, and nobody to the rescue. Again, patient place, reserving the TP, having the wards up, and they get the kill. Xiao A, by the way, finds himself High Cat here, and he gets the haste rune, but he's not going for the kill.
There is an Eclipse. If there was no Eclipse, he goes for that. But with it up, not going to risk it. I gotta say, this was just miscommunication from the international squad. Rubik was going one way, the rest of the team was going the other. Just not proper focus fire. Tidehunter not finding an opening for a Ravage. Also good play by the Chinese. Like you mentioned, the patience was key there. But mostly...
Here comes Night Stalker backstabbing it up. They do have the Ravage still. Hand of God is not there yet, just 4.5. Bat Rider's back alive, and they want to try this one more time. The good thing going for them is that LGD China did not have to use any of their ultimates. The bad thing is Yao is out of mana. Pass that clarity, Sylar. You don't need it. He does. Come on. Okay.
It's the little things at this point that can make a big difference. They, in spite of not finding the openings there, they give a little bit up to the Chinese, but they do get the tier 1 now. That's 1 tower down, and for them, it's really 5 to go. They want to completely shut down the map control of the Chinese. For the Chinese, it's all the waiting game. They've just got to get those core items and levels up. I still feel they're quite a ways off. Night Stalker, like you mentioned, they lost every single lane. As far as gold goes, it's a manageable difference, but it is a significant one. We're looking at about 20%. And what does that translate into? It translates into 2 sets of Arcane Boots, double bottle, Tranquil Boots. Even a Ring of a Kill is a big item to have this early, as well as the Blink Dagger on G, the biggest item by far for them to pick up. Here comes the dive on the top lane. DD dropping low to the Lucid Beam, jukes into the trees like a boss, like a champ, but the creep is there, and the creep is too strong. In comes Yao. He has an RP. What a stop! What micro from Misery stuns 2 heroes with the Chen creep, and that will temporarily end any counter ganking potential.
They need G to initiate on either Void or on the Magnets. He does have the Blink Dagger up. He's just looking for the positioning. Brax has been extremely patient with the Ravage, not dropping it just yet. Chen, level 5, getting ever closer to that Hand of God, which will make a big difference in the team fight. Very strange to see them not going for the tower diving right now, considering that it's 5v4 with Venomancer dead just momentarily, but he's back now. And there you go. They want to nuke down Sylar for a little bit. Sylar, I mean, he's been doing a lot for his team, but he's so poor. He's only got the boots. In fact, again, who wants to initiate here? It seems like the Radiant team is being so patient. Similarly, the Chinese team being patient on their own right. Everybody just need levels.
They just need the International just needs the right opening here. They have way more damage with the Luna, the Ravage doing a lot of AoE, and of course the Bat Rider. I feel the Chinese, their biggest weakness right now, they don't have that much. They've got Void, they've got decent single target, but Void doesn't really do any damage. Venge doesn't do a whole lot. Even a hero like Venomancer, until he hits level 6, he's not that scary. And once the Hand of God comes out, the lack of damage, I feel that's the biggest weakness. So all you got to do is find that opening. I'm not sure if the Chinese have actually seen the Blink Dagger, because G has been perpetually hiding in these trees. At one point, Mag moved up, posted up rather aggressively right to where I'm drawing on the map, but maybe they have. Either way, they are defending this rather patiently while it's happening. Xiao is just trying to get... They really don't want to fight now, but here comes the initiation. They go onto Yao. Yao's dropping low. He does... Oh, skewer away. What a... You mentioned focusing the mag, but they just couldn't chain up the stuns properly there. They didn't want to blow the Ravage. They didn't get the telekinesis liftoff. That was the key. 1437 needed to be in range for that. Either that or blow the Ravage. They do neither, and they don't get the kill, so... A bit of a crisis averted, and when that lasso's down, you can see the International, they don't want to take any chances. They back off.
Xiao doing the smart things, thinking that his team will actually be able to handle that, and they do. He walks all the way to the bot, reserving a TP. Again, Chen now walks into Yao. Yao, skewer. Oh no, Eclipse just melts him, and this is go time. Tier 2 mid lane, Tier 2 top. They do find SC taking a gush to the face. Will be fine here. Tier 1 on the mid lane. I meant Tier 1 Soul Tower up 1437. Takes a Void to the face, but he is fine. That Ravage, again, still up online right now. He has not been using it.
I wouldn't mind seeing him just use it for a kill or two, to be totally honest. Sure, you'd love to have that perfect team fight, but whenever you're fighting a kill or two, you're finding a tower. And when you're finding those towers, you're getting the gold for the next level of items. And most importantly, I think the mech on the Chen, that is going to be absolutely huge. When you're already light on damage, when you're relying on physical damage in the mid-game to really do it all. I mean, from having the aura stack to having... primarily right-click carries in a semi-carry in the Night Stalker, a carry in the Void, and of course Empower, Wave of Terror. All of these physical-based damage spells, the mech, it's not just the heal, it's the armor as well. So I feel, use the Ravage, get a tower, then you get your mech up, and it just becomes progressively harder for the Chinese to find an opening. But they are slow rolling this. There's a haste run on Batrider. Brax could have a, or rather not Brax, sorry, G could have a huge impact on this fight. Oh man, it shows the versatility of this team. They have quite a few players who can play a lot of their core heroes. Whether it's G or whether it's Brax on the bat, just kind of poking around mid. The good news is the Chinese aren't farming. Well, actually, no, sorry, they are. Sylar's top, so
yep.
They got to make something happen.
Look at the way that SC's playing. He's putting wards across the river. Look at wards here, canceling the Blink Dagger. He does hit on G, so his Blink is off, but he does have the Hatred. Magic Missile does it, and the Void, the Silence, everything reversed. Catch him back, and Ravage hits nobody. Where's the TP from the Void? The nuke is coming against DDC. DDC is dead. Chronosphere, and it's gonna grab everybody. The question is, where's the damage? They have none. There's a Shockwave for 1 kill. Skewer here against Pycat. Can they bring down more? That's the question. Lucent being coming into everybody's sun up, but Pycat gets blocked in. Great, he's trying to TP out. He's gonna make it. No bashes. Wow, what a clutch TP. He does make it out alive. And I gotta say, both teams playing just exceptional Dota right now.
Well, aside from that Ravage, that was not an exceptional Ravage from Brax, who's played really well today. If that Ravage hits, it was just out of range. To be fair to him, that was very close to hitting 3 heroes at the boundary of it. And if it did, I mean, that's not a decent fight at all for the Chinese. They just get crushed. Because Ravage, it's not only about the stun, it does 200 damage, which is quite significant. Wow, that Eclipse doing a lot. Here comes G flying high, looking for kills. I really can't believe the Chinese tried to push into this, but I guess they figure with Ravage down, maybe they can. We are seeing that there's lots of other damage sources, lots of other ways to find pickoffs, and that looks to be a huge mistake. Sylar gets pushed back into the Anchor Smash, into the Gush, into a kill. LGD.int is doing it. They're pushing through. They're looking for more kills. If they find this one, it'll be 4 heroes dead. DDC unlikely to survive. Gush cooling down, Anchor Smash cooling down. DDC's got to pull something remarkable, like a Blink Dagger out of his ass. No Blink Dagger out of his ass, so he will die. Now the towers start to fall, Lumi, and this is where our mech comes up. It's almost complete on Misery. He's already level 8 off of those kills. A huge level progression for him. Xiao TP's in, I think, to his own demise.
Well, we'll have to see, and that Pycat comes in with the Eclipse, and Xiao tanky very much so right now. Yao skewers backward here, but Xiao running under the fire will die to the Chen creep. Very nicely micro by Misery, and now SC in big trouble as well. Venomancer just not exactly a tanky hero. Does pop the magic wand up, a huge Firefly. No, not exactly the best push. Brax not gonna eat a stun to the face. Nice juking into the trees here, but it's gonna turn around, start Anchor Smashing up. Yao, ew, Magic Missile does hit, just not enough damage. Is he gonna see a skewer backward reverse just for 1? Are they even gonna get the kill? I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a jump in here for the Void. Does he have the Chrono? Nice blink out here by G. But at the end of the day, that's tier 1 alive.
Well, what has Rubik stolen? He has stolen a level 4 Time Walk. Well, nice. You won't be initiated upon. This is kind of scary because now they have a Blink Bat and a Time Walk Rubik. That is some ridiculously long range initiation. Time Walk, one of the longest range mobility skills in the game. I actually think this is, I mean, it's not the best spell, but it's pretty decent. And here we go. There's the long range initiation. Now onto DDC. Is this an overextension? It looks like the international squad feels it is. They will pay. And this is that bend but don't break philosophy and style. I don't think there's a team that's better in Asia, possibly in the world, at dealing with being in a bad position like this. They are down. They are still in a lot of trouble, if you ask me. Goldgraph suggests that. Down by 5K in that department. Down by about 4K experience, but they are not out just yet, Lumi.
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing it so smart when they're just trying their best to defend with 4, sending the Night Stalker to farm, sending Sylar to farm, and then, you know, as trouble arises, they TP right in. They never leave their team alone. How often do we see the term, you know, 4v5 Dota as your Void is farming, as your anti-mage is farming? You don't see that out of LGD China. And here we go, another teleport scroll being delivered to Sylar, making sure that he is ready for combat. But Tier 1 has already gone down. Venomancer Ward's not exactly being too effective in this particular point in the game, and Tier 2 is starting to take some damage, but again, you see the rotation coming from the carry from the top of the map. Good warding though from the Radiant. They see it coming, and if they ever catch Void alone in the jungle, that's a free kill. Sylar gotta be careful because there's a big gang party coming their way.
Oh, they know their Sylar. They know that he wants to eke every last creep out of this map that he possibly can. Pycat's looking to at least push this lane. He did go for the Lunar Blessing Max, the ideal build for that 5-man Dota that the international team has been using. Now he goes back for the Glaives, and now we got to worry about a poorly placed Chrono. How much damage can that cause the Luna to do to the enemy team? That can set up an amazing Ravage. It can set up a lot of things for LGD International, and also we could see a lot of those spells stolen. Honestly, something we haven't talked about. Oh, well, we'll have to wait because here comes G. He pulls a DD. Ravage is off cooldown, but he's not going to use it just yet. DD will fall. And once that first pick begins, the mech, not delivered yet, should be coming out soon.
Yeah, the Venomancer ultimate is actually going to delay this push quite a bit. You can see G's HP is dropping very low. He's going to get sent back, and oh, maybe not. So he's going to port back to a Tier 1 and really sustain this push. You can see just a momentary lapse in terms of preparation. They didn't have the Venomancer wards over this patch of trees here, and because of that, you know, free blink in from Bat, you cannot allow to drag him off. And also at this point in the game, that Chronosphere is literally just a 3-second disable because Void does not have the damage to really take advantage of the big stun duration, nor does his team. Like, his teammates doesn't have the, like, what is their best AoE damage? A Shockwave? That's it. You don't have, like, a Macro Pyre. You don't have any kind of a big Illuminate. It's just a stun, and to be honest, that's not exactly the best stun you want right now, at least when the Void has no damage.
Oh, that's exactly right. Where is the damage? That was the question. Here begins the tower dive. Now they push back in one into the Eclipse, hitting quite a bit of damage. They only get the 1 kill on the Veno. Boy, he's been an unfortunate soul today. Where's that Ravage? Use the Ravage, Prax. He doesn't want to. He doesn't need to. They get the kills anyway. And now G flying high. He's dropping low, but oh my goodness, look at the flame break. G single-handedly drove 3 heroes off the tower. They clean up the one stuck under it. Now a solo Chrono just to get whatever he can. But even with the Hand of God, it might not be enough. Sylar will find that kill. Flame break just a little bit too late. But they're doing it. They are really, they chose just the perfect moment to strike. The hero composition, everything that they're doing is pushing at that one weakness of the LGD squad. The lanes were not the best. They punished them then, the LGD squad, the Chinese team, and the lanes were not the best. They started off by punishing that, and then they immediately transitioned into a constant 5-man pressure lineup. Even when they stopped, they didn't really stop. They farmed the enemy jungle. They put the aggressive wards up. They didn't always kill the Void, but they're always pushing his lane, forcing him to waste money on TPs. Just really pristine play and understanding exactly on a strategic level how to counter what the Chinese want to do.
Yep. Excellent micro here from Misery in that previous team fight. Sylar was teleporting in 2 Centaurs waiting on the wings under that TP. Perfect chain stun, and that's why they didn't even need to use that Ravage. Sylar was just locked down from begin to finish, and that Tier 2 on the bot lane now under siege as well. And I think the Blink Dagger that just picked up on the TIE Hunter, that is really the nail in the coffin, because you could try to dance around, prevent that Blink Dagger coming in from the bat, but that Blink Ravage, like, there's really little you could do against that.
And it's also, you know, Rubik is one of the other downsides to that Chrono is you've got a 3 melee lineup. You've got fairly low range support, so you got to really be worried about protecting that Chronosphere. You kind of have to Chrono the Rubik, which means maybe you're not using on a more important hero otherwise, like the Luna. you know, even the Tidehunter having an opportunity to drop a Ravage, or the Batrider doing all that AoE. The Rubik, like every little component of the strategy, just really cuts to the heart of the weaknesses of the Chinese. And well, this is how when they're winning games, they're always winning them this way, which is just you get off to an early lead, you win your lanes, and then you just go. Like you said, go time earlier. That's what it is for the international team.
Yeah, well, they're going to try to go against this tier 2. Not going to do so. There's a big smoke up. Mizu was not part of that smoke party, although it looks like they're coming right back here. They want to, again, find a single hero. There's like a V for Vendetta Venomancer board down here, except I'm not sure how well that's going to defend.
Well, they hold on to the tier 2, but it just feels like a losing battle right now. They're not farming. And that's what we've seen a lot of. You know, they picked a support like the Keeper of the Light earlier today, and they can always just pull their carry back to the fight if they need to. They don't have that option, and it just... all the money's had to spend on TP scrolls. Like, every little piece of... Did he just buy a Bracer?
Oh, Bling Dagger initiation against Sylar.
Uh-oh.
And is he going to make it out here? He jumps, and it seems like the Firefly not going to get him. And there's a jump after if Rubik wants to go in. He does. He does. Telekinesis. There's a defensive swap with the Blink Ravage. That's exactly what I mean. The nail on the coffin. There's a great reverse, but again, where's the damage? Here comes Sylar. He's just hitting like...
nothing! Where's the damage?
Yeah. And there's Eclipse, and that's going to seal the deal. Really, there's no way LG China is going to come back when they lose. And even Courier dies in that engagement.
That's the story of this game. Where is the mother effing damage? And LGD International crushing through the opposition. They are looking like the top dogs in the LGD house. I think some cases of Coke looking to go their way after this series. And it's time, Lumi. They tap out. They know they're beat. It's been... I mean, let's give a round of applause, really, for the Chinese team, because they have played... that's 2 p.m. They've played for 12 hours straight. 12 hours straight.
They just needed more Nudo. Somebody get on that manager's call, because they were playing well through game 3 and 4, and this was just a tough, crushing defeat. And the last one, and we are gonna see for the first time ever, apparently, that Yao's gonna lose with Mag.
This is, I mean, it might not be his first loss, but it's the first one I can recall. Certainly. I don't think the Mag was... I still think it was a great pick. You know, it was more just they went with the triple melee to open things up, and just their laning stage, especially the Void and the Night Stalker, just too weak. And the international squad recognized that. They got the Chen right away as soon as they saw what was happening. They got the Bat early, which just leaves you open to go for really strong lanes, and they drafted well. Again, I would say another game where it just came down to the draft.
Well, I felt like G played exceptional in this particular league. The Batrider really laid it open, especially during those early pushes where the Chinese were defending very well, but the Batrider always came in from awkward angle. One came in from the Secret Shop. And again, the top gank was... Batrider was the X Factor player for me, and he played exceptional.
Wow, LGD International. People wanted to see this team. I think they got to be excited about what they saw today. They are your GEST Dota 2 Challenge Grand Finals champions. They take home $1,500, which they can now rub proudly in the faces of their Chinese compatriots, their practice partners, their, well, teammates in a sense. Of course, this tournament was brought to you by Beyond the Summit and made possible thanks to Dota Talk and GST. One more big shout out to Gigabyte for investing in esports, supporting Dota 2 competitions, especially in Asia, China, as well as Southeast Asia, just really making a difference and making these amazing games, these casts possible for you guys. But more importantly, I think, Lumi, well, thanks to you, of course, for joining me. It was great to finally get to cast again. I think it's one of our first casts since the International, but a huge thanks to the viewers as well. This was a massive turnout.
It was good to be here casting great games, and looking forward to casting more epic Dota game like this.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see more to come of this international squad in the future. I think their next big appearance will be the G League. That is something huge to look forward to. The English casting apparently will be available. The details yet to be announced. We will be covering the G League, though, here on Beyond the Summit. So if you want to see more LGD International, we will be covering pretty much every single game. And make sure to subscribe to the channel, or at least follow us to get email notifications every time we go live. If you enjoyed the cast, subscribing does really make a difference, allows us to do more, pay our co-casters properly, do extra production work, really support all the people who help make these casts possible, all our partners in crime. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. It's been a long day. It's been an absolute treat and an honor and a privilege to cast these games for you. Lumi, thanks for joining me. Any last words or shout-outs before we wrap this up?
No, thanks for having me here. It was a blast, and looking forward to more great games from Beyond Summit.
All right, thanks for coming, man. Guys, that wraps it up for today's cast. For now, we're going to be signing off, but we are not done over the next couple of days. We will have more events coming up for you soon. The next live tournament, ignore that timer. I still have to fix it. I'll actually hide it for now. Well, first I should say we'll have a rebroadcast later today. For anyone just tuning in saying, oh crap, I missed all the action. We will be starting a rebroadcast very soon after this. But